Now the next movements entail a little more discipline because they are physical movements. Right? And in these, of course, you'll have your basic stance, your feet, heels pointed a little out and under the shoulders, so feet parallel. You'll also have the torso remaining very still while most of these movements are arm movements. So we're trying to produce force with these. And the lack of movement produces as much force as the use of movement produces force. So the torso remains still. Right? There would be some movement because you're moving your arms, but you will be resisting. You're putting force up to stop the movement. You may not succeed, but still, whatever force you use is always good. Right? So this is the first, actually the second movement of creation. It's called guiding the dream along a path with heart. Right? And the universe, a universe, moves in a particular way. Right? It expands and it contracts with force. Right? It may do it over a term of billions of years, maybe trillions. We're not exactly sure. But the human can do it in terms of a magnitude, right? It, of course, is going to be a much shorter period of time, but you can. It's enacting the force that is important in it, and it's a very simple movement. Knees are slightly bent, and you pull with force as if you're pulling something. And you utilize the breath. As you're pulling out to expand, you're breathing in. As you're pushing in to condense or contract, you're breathing out. Right? Breathing is also, use the one type of breath that naturally gives you more force, right? Because you want to add all the force you can to these movements. So for me, it's breathing in through the mouth and breathing out through the mouth. Eventually you learn how to breathe in through the mouth and nose at the same time. That gives you more force, but that's a little more complicated. So, but for now, breathe in through the mouth and breathe out through the mouth. That's the simpler way to create force. So the movement goes like this. And with these movements, you will have the eyes closed because I want you to gain a sense of the luminosity that you are grooming. And also, if you find yourself, your hands hitting each other, that is the gap. And even when you're doing the gateway of light, which I forgot to mention before, if your hands slowly move in and you're losing energy, right? You can't maintain the field, so your hands kind of grow closer, and so that that is the gap as well too, right? You need to have that density be consistent. That is when the gap is tight and small. And when it's closed, you will be feeling unbending intent. Right? It's like a metal an invisible middle between your hands that is, you just can't break the force that is in between there. So the second movement of sorcery is usually done about 7 times, and you do it with force. You do it with the pushing and the pulling, right? Important to do that. It's not like a wavy, gravy sort of thing. It's a push and a pull. So you start with the pulling and the push, right? These are forces to balance the yin and yang within you, within the yang field, right? The more Tai Chi is to balance yin and yang within the more yin field, right? Because it's a motion, it's elegant. This is force. This is utilizing pure force. It's more yang. It's more physical. It's more solid. It's more dense, right? And this is what we work with in personal powers, is a density. The more dense it is, the more solid the energy. The more solid the energy, the more you can move things. So what we really want to do with the solid energy is to move ourselves. The old seers used this energy to move other people. We want to use the energy to move ourselves. Right? So that's the important paradigm that we're trying to evolve into.